This one sounds the best.
Yeah.
Oh, this one sounds pretty good. What's up, you guys? Welcome to Mower Week. It's a little late in the season for Mower Week, but we're tools in action. We're lazy. What can we say? So in this Mower Week, you guys, basically we're gonna kind of run down all the popular electric lawnmowers. They're all different voltages, all different kinds of stuff. Basically, all we're looking for is just our opinions, you know? We're going over, we just soaked them down with water to make sure they're all waterproof. They all still run. We did a runtime test with them just static sitting there, just to kind of gauge the runtime. Obviously, we know that you PhDs out there that, you know, certain grass is deeper, blah, blah, blah. It's just so hard without going to a UL laboratory to get an accurate run on these lawnmowers. Now, before we even go into this, I want to say that pretty much any one of these lawnmowers is a good buy. You know?
I agree 100%.
Yeah, no matter which one of these lawnmowers you have or you buy, it's going to be good for you. We're just going to go over the differences in them. And we are sponsored by Ego, you guys. They did sponsor Mower Week this year, so we'd like to thank them. So let's start out with...
a couple things too, yeah. What I like to say is, you know, 5 or 6, 8 years ago, you would never have, if someone told you want a battery-powered mower, it would never happen. A couple years ago, we found out about Ego, and that's kind of when it turned our heads, and we said, hey, let's do it. I've been using Ego ever since, and it's not because they sponsor us. It just happened to be at that time, 3 years ago when we did Mower Week. I liked it. I've been using it. But what we thought about lately was that technology's changed over the last 3 years. I just want to still see which one was actually a good value out there, which one was a good buy out there. And like Dan was saying, there's differences to them all and stuff like that.
Now, do you know the prices off the top of your head on them?
I got it written down up there. I can go grab it. You want to go grab it?
Well, yeah, it'd help to be a little prepared.
I didn't know what we were going to talk about. I thought maybe you would want to do like your editing where you do a nice overlay and it looks beautiful and like professional, or would you rather just have me...
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
We're just going to talk. Hey, I have to school this guy on how to do a freaking video.
Right? I know. What's this all about?
We're going to get the paper and we're going to say, hey, this is the Kobalt 80 volt. This is what we like. This is this, blah, blah, blah. Then we'll go over them. We're going to do each one of these individual also, you guys. So.
Yes. And guys, I want you to know, we did a little bit over at Dan's house, but I've been using these 5 mowers to do my yard, and I've let neighbor use them to do their yard, and I've actually done some others. I've got a lot of time on these things. Dan's got a huge yard, so he doesn't really use a battery-powered one.
I use tractors.
And honestly, though, even if you have a large yard, it's not bad picking one of these up because you still got to get around trees, you still got to get around flower beds, you still got to do stuff like that. So it's not necessarily that it's just for small yards. And like Dan said, you know, when we first talked about this, we're like, okay, here's the tests that we're going to do. But then once we got these, we realized testing these head to head is not easy because like Dan was saying, you got different types of grass, you got just all sorts of different things. But I guess now's the time I got to go get the paperwork, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, what do you need? What's on there? Just prices?
I got prices and I don't know what else is on. Man, what's eating my yard?
I don't know, but I'll give you guys a little show. Why Eric's going. All right, you guys, while Eric's in there, I'm going to talk about just these mowers. They're all different decks. We have the Echo 58 volt, which is a 21-inch mower. We have the Ryobi 20-inch brushless lawnmower, which is, how many volts is that? I have to look. How many volts is the Ryobi?
40.
40 volt, okay. Then we have the Ego, which is a 56 volt, 21-inch deck. Then we have the Greenworks Pro, which is what, 21?
21-inch deck.
80 volt. And then we have the 80 volt Kobalt, which is also a 21-inch deck. Yeah. I mean, these are kind of the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think so. I feel like they're made by the same.
Yeah, I feel like Greenworks makes this for Kobalt, so these are pretty, identical. But we did see a huge increase in runtime on the Greenworks
Yeah, when
Pro.
we did the static one, like Dan was saying, we did. Everyone ran for about an hour. This one did an hour and a half. I don't know what's up with the Ryobi. You let it run for 5 minutes and it shuts off. It's not a problem with it. It's just a way they have a design with it because we tried another Ryobi one and it did the exact same thing. So I don't know if it's a safety feature or what it is.
You sit there with an electric just with the blade spinning.
Exactly.
So it's a safety feature that has to be rolling for it to...
Yeah. And Yeah, so that was I was gonna say something else, but whatever.
Okay, now Eric, do they all have bagging features? Obviously, do they all mulch?
They all mulch
and side discharge.
And this side discharge. Now the thing with Eagle, these two side discharge. The Eagle side discharge, but you have to actually call them to get the chute out of the bag.
Is that free?
It's free. They'll send it to you for free,
Okay.
but you just got to register your product and then they'll get it to you. And that's a good question about these two. I don't know if these are side discharge or not.
Okay,
But I
great
don't know
informative video.
Who uses side discharge? Seriously.
I do on all my stuff, my
Well,
tractors.
because you got a tractor.
Yeah.
I would too, but who doesn't bag it or mulch it, you know?
Obviously, some people are watching. You just alienated them.
Well, I did, so I'm sorry about you 3 people who actually do the side discharge, you know?
All right, so what are we talking about first?
Eagle.
Wait,
that's
no,
first on the
let's
list.
talk about what won what.
Oh, okay.
As far as runtime, what was the top runtime one?
And again, they were static. It's not like we were doing it where you can't get a full, you know.
Yeah, it depends. Under load, a lot of these mowers under load will change their,
Exactly.
gear, not gearing, but
Yeah.
whatever.
That one right there.
The Greenworks. Not only did it win, but it tripled everybody else's runtime.
No, that's 50%. If these did an hour, and that did an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
okay.
close to triple. If you add another couple hours on, then it would have tripled.
So if you guys want super long runtime, definitely take a look at the 80Works Greenworks, 80 volt Greenworks Pro. I am very impressed with this mower as far as runtime, as far as power. You know, the build quality is okay. I mean, I'm not going to go right home and say it's anything special.
I'm not too up on that one personally. It's a heavy mower. I believe this is, what is a steel deck?
Yes.
On there.
But
So
a
it's
lot of people like a steel deck.
They do, and I used to be like that too. I used to love a steel deck, but after using plastic, I don't know. I just like the plastic.
It's reinforced
Yes.
ABS.
Okay.
So which one do you think had the best build quality?
I like the Eagle the best.
Yeah, I would have to agree, you guys. For build quality and just overall, aesthetics and just the way it was felt and assembled, I think the Eagle is the best.
And it rolls the nicest. Now I don't know that much about
They have
wheels.
ball bearings.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, but I
okay.
think these other ones do. Some of them do also.
This just rolled really nice. To me, the Kobalt was kind of the clunkiest out of all of them.
Now this is the self-propelled.
Yes, this one's self-propelled.
Is this the only self-propelled one
It's the
here?
only self-propelled one here. And I believe they're the only ones who make a self-propelled mower that's a battery-powered mower.
No, they don't.
Okay, so they're
Works
not.
does.
Okay.
Works does. But
So
that was
Works
a long
does too.
time ago.
Okay.
I don't know much about Works anymore. So yeah, I do like this. This is a good mower. You know, the reasons that I like the way it's built is, it's stable up here. You're not hearing rattling. You're not hearing anything like that. I like these big aluminum tubes that just seem strong.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have those, there's like these things. These, what are they called? Thumb nuts or
Yeah.
something? Those thumb nuts. I hate those things because you always have to be retightening them. They're always loose. And it just gets to the point over the years where they break. This is just quick release right here. Boom. Done.
Yeah,
So
I agree. For storage, these two right here, the Ryobi and the Eagle, are the best. Because those you have to loosen the screws. The Eagle and the Ryobi, open that up, turn those, and
yeah, and I pretty much do like the build quality on the Ryobi too.
yeah, it feels nice.
It feels nice. It feels, pretty solid. Is it in a ditch or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it feels nice. I mean, it's a little loose to it, but I think the Ryobi really did a nice job in building it. What about this one? This one's got those
it's
nuts.
all right.
Yeah.
It's not really. The one thing I don't like about the Echo is all these have just one lever to do the height.
Height, I love that.
With the Echo, you actually, it's
Traditional.
all four. Your traditional one, so you got to go around and do all that. Not a huge deal, but just something to note.
Which one lasts the shortest?
What do you mean last the shortest?
Which one gave out first?
It's weird. It's hard to tell because, well, no, I mean, it's hard to tell because this one, you can't sit and just run it alone. And when I was running it, I obviously grassed. I didn't come out and measure the grass and say, okay, grass is 3 inches. I'm going to cut
So that did
it. You know what I mean?
the least is what you're saying when it was working?
I feel like that Kobalt did. I didn't actually
Which is weird
time
because
it.
it's like the same one, but this is the 80 volt with a higher amp
Yeah,
hour
it is
battery.
weird.
So, okay, so obviously we don't have a solid number on
And you're
that.
not going to get that. I don't care where you're going to go. Manufacturers are going to tell you, hey, this one lasts 2 hours. But whatever, that's just
And it all
it's a
depends
static
over a
thing.
season, over 2 seasons. How did you store your battery? Did it freeze?
Yes,
Did this? You're all
exactly.
going to get different different kind of stuff. To be honest with you though, with this battery technology, I've never seen any of these new mower battery platforms go bad.
No,
yet.
I haven't either. I haven't heard or read anything about it. So they all seem like battery technology wise, they're good.
And Eric does have the most experience with Ego.
Yeah.
Because you have had it for like 4 years now since they came out.
Yes.
And you haven't had one dead battery?
No.
In all honesty, not one dead battery?
No.
Have you seen any degrade in power?
No.
Really?
No,
Wow.
I haven't. Now I use a different battery on here. I got their blower and their trimmer too, so I use a different, you know, this has got the 7.5 amp hour where I believe the string trimmer and the other one's got like a, what's it, 2.5, 3 or 5 or whatever.
Right.
So
now which one do you think did the best cut?
They all did really good cuts. There wasn't one where I was like, wow, this cut is awful. I feel like an actual true cut. I feel like the Ego did better. I feel like the Echo and the Kobalt, it did a great cut, but it seemed like more of the grass was pushed over, you know? So almost like after a day, you could see a lot of the blades sticking up, a stick up of grass. So I know it doesn't make sense to you, but if you use them, you'll understand it. And you guys out there who use them, you'll understand that. So that was a big knock we had when we first did it, is I think we had the Craftsman and all the other ones. It tended to cut the grass, but a lot of the blades, it would just push over and it looked like it was, and after a day, it'd come back up and look like, you know, crap. So.
Right. Okay, what else do we need to know about mowers? Pricing, which is the lowest, which is the highest?
Pricing, the Ryobi comes in at $399.
Is that the lowest?
The lowest is $399.
Okay, let's put them in order of the pricing, just so we have a good thing. So, well, you don't want to do that? It just makes it a little more interesting, because pretty much you guys have learned nothing. Okay, what's next?
Okay, $399. Then you have the Kobalt and the Echo at $499.
Oh.
Then you have the last two, the Greenworks and that at $599.
Okay, so we'll pull them over. All right, so sorry, dude. I'm just trying to get this through. So pretty much now that we have prices, so here's your lowest to your highest price mowers. What do you think is the best buy for the money? Because these are almost $200 more than this one. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Ryobi is the best buy for the best value for the money. Because if you pay this, it's the lowest one, and it pretty much did well on a lot of the tests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great bagging and mulching.
It's a 20-inch, so it's not the 21-inch. And I mean, you guys are like, oh, an inch, but an inch does mean a lot. And this also has plastic deck. And the one, I love that, man. 5 amp hour battery, and it's got headlights. Oh, the headlights are on. You always need headlights when you're mowing in the dark.
You do.
It's hard to mow in the dark, even with lights. I tried it with the vent check with the lights. I can't mow in the dark. I can't see what I'm doing.
I remember I used to cut grass. I was on a Kubota, and it'd always be dusk time. It was always hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to see where you're going, no matter what. Nobody mows at night. So you said these two are the same price? No, this is on a price level all its own.
$399, $499, and $599.
Okay. And the cool thing about this too is, you know, this lithium battery works in a lot of Ryobi stuff. They have string trimmers, stuff like that. Kobalt, do they have string trimmers and all that?
I believe they do. I'm
okay,
not sure,
so
though.
pretty much every brand here has their string trimmers.
String trimmers or blowers, stuff like that.
Right. So, best value is going to be the Ryobi. Longest run time is going to be the Greenworks. Best build quality is going to be the Ego. And something else on the Ego?
I don't know if I had
best cut. You said no. What did you say?
They were all good cuts. You know, I mean, the Kobalt would tend to push the grass over a little bit more. If I had to stay away from one mower, and not that it's a bad mower, I would stay away from the Kobalt. Just personal opinion on it. Just felt clunky when you were using it, stuff like that. The best mower is the Ego, and again, I don't know if it's just because I've been using it for 3 years and I haven't had a problem with it. This one is self-propelled. One thing that's cool about it is it doesn't have to be on. You can just push the button.
That's self-propelled with the same price point as that.
Yes.
What's the non-self-propelled one? Is that
I believe it's $100 less.
Okay, and so that even puts that into this category.
Yeah, and my thing is, I know a lot of people like the self-propelled. That's cool, more power to you. I personally don't. I actually like their old 20-inch mower. It's light, it runs great. I haven't had a problem with the thing. This is nice because if you got hills, I got a little bit of hill, you know, in my yard, but I don't know, I just like being able to just push it. It's lightweight and everything like that, but they do offer a 21-inch that is self-propelled.
Okay, now what about warranties?
Warranties, good question, Dan. I'm glad you brought that
There
up.
are always sirens at Eric's house.
There is.
That's the ambulance though, huh?
Yeah, it's always ambulances.
Oh, really?
It's always, yeah, because we got a retirement home right up there. So all of them have 5-year warranties except the Greenworks. That one is a 4-year warranty.
Okay, so a little, less on the warranty. Does that include batteries?
Yeah, they all come with a battery.
Wow, so that's pretty good, you guys, because think about it. When you go and traditionally buy a gas power mower, what are you going to get out of it? 10 years? So half of these life, you're going to be able to get warranty with it, most likely.
Yeah, and guys, I've always been a gas guy. I've always loved, having gas mowers, gas blowers. But you know what, though? I am totally moved over to battery power. Like this summer or spring, all I had to do was pop the battery in there and go. I didn't have to go to the gas station, get gas, deal with bad gas, deal with spark plugs or any of that other junk. Another note too is the Ryobi and the Echo can both hold an extra battery. They don't run off of 2 batteries, but it's just got an extra storage compartment for it, and then you can just move the battery over.
So if you're out in the field, you can swap it.
Yes.
And then these ones all run off 1 battery, correct?
Yep. All of them run off of 1 battery.
Cool.
Yep,
Good
they
stuff.
all run off of 1 battery.
What else?
I think that's pretty much you got it all. Man.
So you guys, this is pretty much a rundown. I mean, if you're coming to this video ready to see, these things head to head, it's hard to put them head to head. There's just so many different, it's like putting a Toyota Prius versus Tesla versus, Chevy Equinox or something.
It is. Yeah,
I mean, it's hard.
We had all these ideas like, okay, here's how we're gonna do the head to head. But then once I started mowing them with them different, like I noticed on my yard, I got mostly Kentucky bluegrass back here, and it pretty much grows the same, and it's nice. I go over to my neighbors, under their tree, they got really high grass, and under where it's with the sun, it's all basically dead grass. So it's hard to say you're going to get this much mowing time out of a mower. So I think when it comes down to another thing that we didn't talk about a little bit is the accessories behind it. Not the accessories, but the stuff that goes with it. I've been using the Eagle stuff. I love their blower. I love their string trimmer.
I love their blower.
And that's a huge plus because you're not going to get one mower that's got this battery technology and say, okay, I like the Echo blower, I'm going to get that one now, and I like this string trimmer, because you're not going to have 3 different battery platforms as a pain in the butt. So when you do get a mower, obviously look at the blower, the string trimmer, whatever else they have out there that you can use too.
Right, and one thing I do like about the Echo and the Ryobi is they're so light. They're so easy to turn. The Ego is a little bit heavy, and so is that thing.
This thing's super heavy.
Yeah, those things are both kind of heavy. So if you're doing a lot of short areas where you got to turn a lot, or your grandma, I'd probably go towards the lighter versions. But then again, that's self-propelled. The self-propelled one's not that heavy.
Yeah, I mean, the one that's not self-propelled feels a lot lighter, but yeah, I mean, it's not,
And you guys, pretty much, like we said, any of these mowers is going to be a good buy for you. We're just kind of showing you the differences. You can go ahead and start your comments now, ripping on us and saying, you should have done this, you should have dropped him from an airplane, you should have buried Eric up to his neck and ran over his head. We were thinking about doing that, but then we thought, who's going to do the videos? Who's going to do the write-up?
Yeah, so that's why we didn't do it. And we couldn't find an airplane to drop the other stuff out of. But
yeah, so we couldn't do it. So overall, best mower if you had to pick right now?
Eagle, without a doubt.
Okay, if I had to pick right now, I would be between the Eagle or the Ryobi. Only because price point on that, I'm saving $200. It's a lot lighter unit, but it would also depend on my yard. If I had a bigger yard, I would be going with the Eagle because of the self-propelled. What was the runtime on these? About the same?
About the same.
About the same? Okay. I would be going with the Eagle.
They're all pretty close,
Yeah. I like the Eagle, but the only reason I would switch over to a Ryobi would just be cost.
See, and that's where we're a little bit different. Like, I wouldn't go with the self-propelled mower. I would pay $100 less. I would go with the one that's not self-propelled. Yes, I'm paying $100 more, but I like the blower, the weed whip, and everything that comes with that. And to me, an extra $100 is worth it. But my 2 top picks are like what Dan said, the Ryobi and this. I mean, the Ryobi is nice. They're both at Home Depot. You can go there, pick them up. If you do have a problem, you can return them. That's where you have to get the blower and stuff like that. You don't have to go online to get the stuff, I mean, obviously, Kobalt's Lowe's brand.
Right. So, and there's nothing wrong with the Kobalt.
There's nothing wrong with any of them.
It's fine. Would I go with the 80-volt Greenworks Pro? Possibly, if I wanted that extra runtime.
I wouldn't.
But I think that would just push me back into a Greenworks if I'm spending, or an Eagle if I'm spending that kind of money. And Eric's right. I didn't think in my head about the other accessories that they have or other tools that they have.
Yeah.
And you're right. I love that Ego blower.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
I love
nice.
that Ego chainsaw. So it's like, yeah, maybe I probably would, because I don't really have too much in 40 volt when it comes to Ryobi.
Yeah, and it's not that the stuff is bad. We're not saying the Ryobi 40 stuff is bad. I mean, they got good stuff.
just
I just like the quality. Everything I've touched on the Ego has been quality stuff. That chainsaw, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And if you don't believe us, you guys, because we are sponsored by Ego, they do sponsor Mower Week this year. You know, it's hard to say that, you know, they're the best, buy Ego, they're the best, because, you know, we're being sponsored. But go to Home Depot, look at the reviews on these things. 5 stars all day long. To me, Ego really took over the scene and put all these other brands to the test, saying, wow, we got to step up our game, which is really good.
And the one thing is cool, guys, just because they do sponsor us, we told them ahead of time, hey, listen, we're going to tell it like we see it. I'm not saying that because they sponsor us. I truly actually believe in this product. And the one question we had was 3 or 4 years ago when we did it, was going to be their battery technology, and the batteries have lasted.
Yes.
So, you know.
Because that's what everybody's afraid of when they first came out. Because, I mean, Eric's right. Electric mowers have been out like 10 years, you know? But, you know, we had a Works. The battery just got weak on it real fast and died within like 4 mows. I mean, obviously not bashing Works. They have better products out now, I'm sure. But, you know, that was the infancy of the technology. And you're like, this new brand comes along called Ego. It's like, you know, next year I'm going to be buying batteries for it. Here we are 4 or 5 years later, and he's still got the same batteries. You know, I can also attest to that in the Ryobi lineup, and I can also attest to that
in the Greenworks,
because we've had Greenworks products and their batteries have lasted.
Yeah.
So, you know, like we said, you guys, any of these you get is going to be a good buy. If you have an unlimited budget and you really want our recommendation, we're going to say go with the Ego. You know, I don't want to say Ego because we're sponsored by them, but I just have to.
It's one of those things. It's a great mower.
Yeah, it's the best mower here.
There's certain things on it that I just like, that the little detail. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but underneath, you probably can't see it from there, but the walls are a little bit thicker. You know, they made them thicker. They're not cheap stuff. It's not that they cheaped out on certain parts of the mower. They just said, hey, let's get a mower. Let's just make it the best mower we can make it and put it out.
Right.
You know?
Plus with their snow blower that's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And their backpack blower. I mean, that's really going to want me into their line. But I don't think you can use those batteries with the snow blower.
I believe you can, dude.
I thought it has these huge amp hour batteries.
You might be right, but I thought you could. You know.
But that's it, you guys. We want to know what you guys think at the bottom.
Exactly.
If you guys have Ego, let us know. What do you think? If you have Echo, Kobalt, let us know. Let's get a discussion going. That's what Tools in Action is all about. It's not about these two humps that know nothing. It's about you guys, the crew, just talking, and a community, and just talking about which mowers we think that you guys think are the best, you know? I mean, obviously, the only one we have true experience with is the Ego for 4 years, and he loves it, you know? These other mowers we've only tested for a couple weeks, maybe a month or so.
Probably
you know?
about a month, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, have you guys had these for a season? Let us know. Maybe we're missing something. Maybe they're the greatest since sliced bread.
Yeah, it was interesting, though, because the other guy I lent that to said the same thing. He's like, I'm not too up on that one. So,
on the Kobalt?
Yeah.
Why?
It just felt clunky. I don't know what it was. And it's the same feedback I got on this thing. It's heavy, you know. They like the battery, but the whole unit itself is a heavy unit.
And I feel like that's the one thing. When you go to a big box store and you see these sitting outside, every guy I see is always going like this with it.
Yeah.
Because you want to see, does it feel solid? Does it feel clunky? You know, here, look, no rattling. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
There's a little play in there. Here, you know, it's like rattling. Everything's kind of loose. Here, it's a little rattly, but I like how light that is.
Yeah, so I like how light that is.
Look, the Ego, nothing. No rattling. You got a little play in there. That's about it. The Greenworks, pretty solid. The Greenworks is pretty solid, which is amazing because it's pretty much the same as this. But
yeah.
I don't know why it feels way more solid. That's weird.
I think just this because of the steel deck, but it's got the same...
That has a steel deck.
Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah.
That's so weird.
And it's weird because feel how heavy that is compared to this one.
Yeah, I know. That one's way heavier.
Yeah.
But this is the Greenworks Pro line, you guys. So, I mean, I don't know if it's really for the professional. I don't know if professionals are, quote unquote, getting into this electric stuff yet. I mean, I see them starting to dabble with DeWalt a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're still on the fence. They're like, you know, oh, we're not getting this.
Well, it's one of the things when you're out in the field, it's much easier to have access to gas than it is to try to charge your battery, you know, in your trailer or something like that.
Exactly. So, you guys, comment below. Let us know. This has been Mowers Week. Mowers Week. Mower Week. We're gonna give you a rundown on each one of these units individually for the rest of the week. So,
yeah.
Let us know what you guys use. Let us know what you guys want to see. You want to see us put something on the channel, add a mower, let us know. Hashtag TIA Crew, Tools in Action.
Remember, for more exciting tool action, go to toolsinaction.com. Greenworks.com.